Alright, Shalom. First off, give all praise to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makar the bonus to the apostles and the elders of GMS, salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring, in truth and sincerity, and women and children who follow. So, I'm doing this lesson, of course, it's so-called Christmas time, and, once you come into this knowledge, you understand, where all these so-called holidays come from. They all come from pagan beginnings, from other holidays that have evolved, or other evil worship days. Wicked holidays that have evolved over the years. And this one in particular, Christmas, it's like a conglomerate of wicked festivals, man. So we just gonna go into it and just get all the meat off the bone. So the first thing we're gonna go into is what's called Saturnalia, okay? Because Christmas is pretty much that's that's what it is. It's Saturnalia. All right, it's the Roman festival, which I'll read it. Saturnalia, the ancient Roman festival of Saturn in December, which was a period of general merrymaking and was the predecessor of Christmas. It says it right there. It's the predecessor of Christmas. So if you're celebrating Christmas, pretty much about it. You're celebrating Saturnalia. Okay? You're going off. It's not about baby Jesus in the manger. Okay? It's Saturnalia. And, we're going to get into that too. But let me see. So Saturnalia was an ancient Roman festival in honor of the god Saturn. Not in honor of Jesus, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. It says Saturn. It said that was held on December 17th of the Julian calendar and later expanded with festivities through the 23rd of December. Alright, and they did feasting, they did role reversals, they did gift giving and gambling. Alright, so basically all manner of revelry. And that's confusion. Like I said, it did role reversals. That's nothing but confusion. And that's why, it's big here in Babylon, because it's confusion, the land of confusion. So why wouldn't it be like that? All throughout the year you're an asshole, and then at the end of the year, your role is reversing. You want to be this chipper, merry guy. No, it don't work like that. But also this is where you get the so-called 12 days of Christmas. So we're gonna go into that now. So it says the origins of the 12 days of Christmas. It says Mario England. Let me see. The start of Christmas season began with the appointment of the Lord of Misrule, or misrule. Okay, to rule improperly, basically to go off. And if you going off, you're not operating within the law, statutes, and commandments. That's what our people don't understand. That we have a set of morals and laws that we are to operate within, and this is going outside of that. So when you're participating in these activities, you're going outside of the covering of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Alright, so you're not going to be protected in that day. Okay, so it says this Lord was generally a peasant who was appointed by the local parish. He led the celebrations, presiding over large drinking parties, feasting, including the Feast of Fools. Alright, and this role reversal, here we go again, role reversal. Alright, and then like the scriptures say, they were eating and drinking and giving in marriage. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to know what's going on. Because in these days, you're eating, you're drinking, marrying, and giving in marriage. Alright, you reveling. You just out to party, and you don't care what's going on. You don't give a fuck that that France is on fire right now. That the police is trying to is joining the yellow jackets or whatever, yellow coats, whatever they call themselves. You don't understand what's going on in China and Russia and Venezuela in North Korea, in South China Sea, all these places in Syria, in Iran. You don't understand the magnitude of the situation, how any day now full blown war could pop off. You don't understand the severity of the thousands of people who are marching towards the United States to try to get in. You don't understand the severity of the Trump's wall. You got all you can do is think about yourself and your carnal mind. Oh, well, you doing this for your kids or whatnot, but you're gonna get your kids fucked up. And really, this is part of the season because you're sacrificing your kids anyways. But we're gonna get into that as well. Okay, so just bear with me. It says, in this role reversal, the Lord of Misrule mocked the king, ruling in his stead for 12 days. At the end of the 12 days of Christmas, his rule came to an end, and the king resumed his duties. All right, and then it says, it was passed down from generations and was taken out and brought back. But another form of the Lord of Misrule surrounded the 12th night. The 12th night was the last night of the 12 days of Christmas and was marked by a large feast. During the feast, a bean was baked into a cake. The person who found the bean became the Lord of Misrule and presided over the banquet. Roles were reversed, and the kings and nobles became peasants. At midnight, the Lord of Misrule's reign ended and the world returned to normal. So, it says the roles were being reversed. You probably had women, telling men what to do. Who knows how far it could have gone back then, because everybody was just drinking and just out to have as much fun and as possible with no consequences, pretty much. All right. It says, the tradition of the 12 days of Christmas, the 12 days of Lord of Misrule go back to what? The Roman feast of Saturnalia, dedicated to the god of Saturn. Saturnalia occurred when? At the winter solstice. Okay, a time of modern Christmas. It was celebrated with outrageous feasting, debauchery of all kinds, and pagan revelry. Debauchery of all kinds, okay? So you probably had, I don't even want to get into it. You can, imagine how bad Babylon is now. Imagine what they were doing back then, when you could do it just out in the streets and everybody was doing it. So, it can get pretty bad. Saturnalia was the winter festival honoring Saturn and was the forerunner to the church holiday of Christmas. There it goes again. Christmas is a winter solstice festival developed from two ancient pagan festivals, the Great Yule Feast of the Norsemen and Roman Saturnalia. It was close enough to the winter solstice to acquire many of the associated Norse ceremonies, the Yule log, the evergreen decorations in the houses and churches, even the Christmas feast itself. These elements were combined with Saturnalia of the Romans to provide the basis for the early church festival. Okay, so it mentioned that Yule log. That Yule log is where they sacrifice kids to the so-called god Yule. What they did, they would tie the kids to the log and put it on fire, and that's a sacrifice. All right, so not only that, you had it mentioned the Christmas tree, the evergreen tree and decorations and whatnot. So with that, I'm gonna get the scripture real quick, because starting at verse 1, it says, "Hear ye the word of the Lord." Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. All right, and we're talking about pagan holidays. That's the ways of the heathen. It says, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them, for the custom of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. All right, cutting a tree out of the forest, he's talking about an evergreen tree, just like it just mentioned. All right, they deck it with silver and with gold, They fasten it with nails and hammers that it move not. All right, so you basically you take the tree out the forest and then you put hammers and nails in it so that it just stands up inside your household. That's a fucking Christmas tree that you're decorating with silver and gold. What did it just say in the article? It says um, uh, the Yule log evergreen decorations inside the houses. Evergreen decorations. Evergreen decorations. They deck it with silver and gold. They fashion it with nails and with hammers that it move not. It says they are upright as the palm tree, so it's standing up with silver and gold. That's talking about a clear cut Christmas tree. This is a clear cut to anybody who has a Christmas tree or who putting up a tree, trimming the tree, doing all that. You going off, man. What the and if you're not going off, what's the true origins of the Christmas tree? Why do you have a Christmas tree in your house? Who taught you about the Christmas tree? What does the Christmas tree represent? What does the Christmas tree have to do with baby Jesus? Because you can say the gifts, they brought the Lord gifts. Yeah, they did. But they gave gifts during Saturnalia. So where does the tree come from? And why is the Bible telling you not to put this tree in your house? Okay? It says they are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, nor also is it to do for nor fucking neither is it in them to do good. Okay, so you got this tree up. You know what I'm saying? It's counterproductive to your salvation to participate in this, man. I just don't understand people. You can't read. You can't read. Because if you believed in the Lord and you love the Lord and you read the Bible and you read that, you wouldn't have nothing to do with Christmas. You wouldn't have nothing to do with that tree. But what people do, they, like I said before, they got in their mind, oh, I don't want my son or I don't want my daughter or the kids to suffer. You know, we're going to do it because that's what my mom taught me and her mom taught her and it was passed down. Yeah, man, wickedness was passed down. Pork was passed down, man. Slaves were passed down. Just because it's a tradition doesn't make it good. So we're going to go into Yule real quick. And as you can see, Yule is a real thing. It's not just a Christmas word or something. It says Yule began on Friday, December 21st, and ends on January 1st. These are the 12 days of Christmas. This is where they get that shit from, man. Yule means Christmas, which we get into that word. Christ Mass, Mass meaning death, is basically you Xing out Yahweh Shai, man. You clowning Yahweh Shai by celebrating Christmas, even in the name. So I mean, that's why people deserve death, man. Because you're shallow. You're one deep. Know what you celebrate. Know why you celebrating it. Yule or Yuletide is a festival observed by historic Germanic peoples, which English is a Germanic language. It says scholars have connected the wild hunt, the god Odin, and the pagan Anglo-Saxon Mohadrant, and later underwent Christianized reformulation, resulting in the term Christmastide. Okay, Yuletide, Christmastide, it's the same thing. And it gives the date right there for the 12 days of Christmas. It's a winter festival. Just, people, it's crazy, that you come into this thing and the Lord open your eyes to everything and you can see so clear. But the people in the world it's right there, and they just can't see it. The Lord gave them a strong delusion. It's a stumbling block into them. People don't want to. They don't want to know. Ignorance is bliss to them. They better off, not knowing. This is the true origins of Christmas, child sacrifice, Nimrod, the Christmas tree, and Santa. All right, because I'm not gonna read this whole thing. Lord will put all these articles in the description box, but it says, where did Christmas originate? From Bible or paganism? What is the real origins of Santa Claus, the mistletoe, Christmas trees, holiday wreaths, the custom of exchanging gifts? Many are concerned about putting Christ back into Christmas. He was never there. Or it says, was he ever there? Here are stunning answers. It says, why do people think that Christmas is wonderful? It certainly felt wonderful to me. I trusted what my parents told me. I had no reason to doubt them. They were merely teaching me what their parents had taught them. I never questioned the true origin of Christmas. Most never reflect on why they believe what they believe, or do what they do. We live in a world filled with customs, but few ever seek to understand their origin. We generally accept them without question. Most people basically do what everyone else does because it's easy and natural, which is true. You just celebrate what your mama taught you, and what her mama taught her, and so on and so forth. Let's carefully examine the roots of Christmas. Let's look at why people follow the customs associated with it. Why is it kept on December 25th? Did the early New Testament church keep it? Okay, so we're going to go into it. It says pagan origin. Let me see. Alright, it says the court decision affirmed that Christmas has no Christian roots. However, the court's opinion also noted that the Bible reading of prayer obviously are associated with Christianity, a remarkable admission. The court concluded that Christmas keeping and manger scenes can remain because they are not really part of either Christianity or religion, but prayer and Bible reading, which must remain excluded from schools. So basically, it's talking about what you can and can't do in schools as far as Christmas and Christianity, because it's really two separate things. It says nearly all aspects of Christmas observance have their roots in Roman custom and religion. Consider the following admission from the large American newspaper, The Buffalo. It says the earliest reference to Christmas being marked on December 25th comes from the 2nd century after Jesus' birth, and is considered likely the first Christmas celebrations were in reaction to the harvest festival that marked the winter solstice. It says the return of the sun, and honored Saturn, the god of sowing. Saturnalia was a rowdy time. All right. It says much opposed by the more austere leaders amongst the still minority Christian sect. Christmas developed, one scholar says, as a means of replacing worship of the sun with the worship of the sun. All right, you got the sun S-U-N and the sun S-O-N. So it's a difference. It's a clear cut difference. But they're trying to basically you do the same thing. It says in 529 A.D. after Christianity had become official state religion of the Roman Empire, the Emperor Justinian made Christmas a civic holiday. The celebration of Christmas reached its peak, as some would say, its worst moments in the medieval period, when it became a time for conspicuous consumption and unequaled revelry. All right, unequaled revelry. That's why you got Slakia. You know, Christmas parties, and people go nuts at these goddamn Christmas parties. You know, that's where you get it from. So it says, Christmas was not among the earliest festivals of the church. The first evidence of the feast is from Egypt. Further, pagan customs centering around January's calends January's calends gravitated to Christmas under Natal Day, origin of the early Catholic. Well, hold on, we about to skip all this. Let me see. This is getting kind of long in the tooth. Okay, yeah. So I'm gonna end it with this because here we go. Hold up. This is some December starting here. December 25th was also regarded as the birth date of the Iranian mystery god Mithra, the son of righteousness. On the Roman New Year, January 1st, houses were decorated with greenery and lights, and gifts were given to children and the poor. To these observations were added the German Celtic Yule rites, when the Teutonic tribes penetrated into Gaul, Britain, and Central Europe. Food and goods, fellowships, and the Yule log and Yule cakes, greenery and fir trees, gifts and greetings of all commemorated different aspects of this festive season. Fires and lights, symbols of warmth and lasting life, have always been associated with the winter festival, both pagan and Christian. Okay, and then when you get into Nimrod, the story about Nimrod, when his wife killed him and she buried him, they said that a evergreen tree grew from there, and that's the origins of the evergreen tree. That's the origins of why you have a Christmas tree in your house, and it just went into with Yule. That's where you get all the greenery. That's where you get the wreaths and the goddamn mistletoes and this, that, and the third. All this shit is pagan. So it talked about the lights. It talked about, so you putting lights on your tree, you putting lights around the house, symbolizing the warmth. Okay, so with that being said, man, stay out of that shit, man. I know at the end of the day, the Lord knows your heart. Okay, so if you go see your peoples or something like that, there's nothing wrong with going to see your people or nothing like that, because the Lord knows that you're with that shit. But if you spending your last dollar, buying your kids gifts, and you want them to have a Merry Christmas and this, that, and the third, y'all caroling and going to see the lights and all that shit, man, cut that shit, man. Cut that shit, man. Be a true man of the Lord and stand up for what's right. And what's right is Slakia. What's right is exposing this place for what it is. Slakia, y'all. What's right is exposing this place for what it is, and these evil festivals, these evil goddamn so-called holidays, man. With that being said, give all praise that's called out to Yahweh Bashim Yashai. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of GMS. Salutes and honors to the elect, all the brothers across the four corners who are enduring in truth and sincerity, and the women and children who follow. Shalom.